Welcome back, Renegades. Today we got some gameplay with Black Yellow Luffy in the mirror match here in OP09, so let's get into it. The opponent chooses to go second. We're going to play out a Flampy, getting a Gecko off of life and drawing into a Rago. The opponent just gets some Dawn, pass it back. We get our Dawn, go 8 into life here. Just passing it back. So they're going to deploy out a Kuzan and just give it back to us. We have another Rago in hand, debating what we want to play out here. We're going to deploy the Savo. I got to trash 2 cards here. Gonna get rid of one of the Ragos and the Kuzan. And we're just gonna go 5 into life. So they're gonna counter out. And we just pass it back. So both of us want to get to 0 life as quick as possible in order to start turning on our effects. But we have the Gecko in hand already. We already have a little Savo and we have some Luffys. So we take that hit, getting the search event from life. We're gonna use it. Get it. Now we have little Savo, little Luffy. We got our pieces. Now we just got to get to our Dawn. So we're gonna play out Rocket Luffy here, trashing it to get rid of their Kuzan. We got a Garp. We're gonna use that. Pick up another little Savo here. One open Dawn. We're just gonna pressure life. So I take that hit and we just end the turn, passing it over to them. We're both at 2 life. So they're gonna play out their Nami blocker here and a Sabo blocker. They're just setting up some defensive characters now. They're gonna go 5 into life here. We're gonna give them a counter, passing it back to us. So we're gonna deploy the Machino, see what we can get out of life. We got the Flampy, and then now we have a Gecko on top of life that we can't really utilize as far as cheating out things. But we're gonna use Flampy again, taking that last life. Now we can use leader effect. We have a Rocket Luffy in hand, and then we have another Luffy in the trash. A Rocket Luffy in the trash, and then 2 Luffys in hand. So we're gonna trash one of those Luffys from hand. So we're gonna put both the Luffys into life. Should have probably done this the other way, getting the search event off first, because we did end up drawing a Sabo from that, which would have been better. But here we're going to use the Luffy effect, get Rocket Luffy out. We have 1 blocker. We are a 7K for the rotation, so we're going to swing 11 into 5 here. They're going to give us that Nami blocker. Just pass it back. We are a 7K body. If we end up having to take the hit for that Luffy in life, it's not a big deal. So they're going to deploy out their 10-drop Kuzan, getting rid of our Sabo. But now they can't pressure into life. Well, they can technically with their Luffy if they wanted to. Their character there. So back to us. Now we're at 10 Dawn. Rocket Luffy isn't going to be able to do anything. So we're just going to chip 6 in. Take that life. We're going to get Gecko. We're going to bring back the Nami blocker and little Luffy. Then we're going to use little Luffy to get the big Luffy out of life, giving our leader a little bit of a power boost. We're going to put the 2 on the leader, activating its effect. And now we can put double Sabo into life. And we're going to be a 7 again for the rotation, but 9K into life here. They take the last life, so now they're at 0 life going into their turn. We have one blocker. If we can survive this rotation, we will have the double Sabo, little Sabos out. Then we can always Rygo their 10 drop while establishing two Sabo blockers onto the field with KO immunity. But it just depends on what the opponent does here. It may change our plan. So they're going to get double Rocket Luffy to life with their leader effect. They're going to play out a little Luffy from hand using the effect with to get Rocket Luffy from life. Looks like they're probably going to trash it to get rid of our Gecko. Yep. We still have our blocker here. We're at 7k life. They're going to play another Rocket Luffy out of hand. They're going after our field this turn. So they got the one Luffy there. They're going 9 into life here. They still have a 10k swing. We're going to give them 3 counters out of hand. They're going to look like they're going to go 7 into the Rocket Luffy. We're going to give that to them. And then 10 into life here, we're going to use our blocker. And their Sabo can't swing because it's not big enough. So now we're going to use Rygo to get rid of the 10 drop. We did end up trashing one of our Sabos, but we were able to play Little Sabo to get it out. And now we can use Leader Effect again to get 2 Luffys. And we're going to pressure 9 into the rested Luffy there, the character. They're going to use their blocker here. So we're 7k for the rotation and passing it back to the opponent. We have another Gecko in hand, so we can technically bring the Luffys back, but we didn't go with the Sabos, putting Sabos into life that turn, because if we have to take hits, we'd rather lose those Luffys than we do the Sabos. So that's why I didn't put the Sabos into life during that rotation. I wanted to have like chump cards that can go to the bottom of the deck without affecting us too badly. Leader, Luffy doing leader effects. Played Gecko, got a Nami blocker and a little Sabo, rested. They're going to use that to get out their big Sabo. Drawing 2, trashing 2. They still have a Rocket Luffy in life. Their leader got a 2k boost. They're going to go 8 into life here. We're going to give them a 2k. That's our last counter in hand. So 9. We're just going to give them the blocker here because we have the Gecko, which we're going to deploy out Gecko, and we're going to get Luffy. And we don't have another little Luffy. Okay. So we're just going to grab debating between Garp. The Flampy's not going to be any good. We'll lose the card to life, but we're going to do it anyways just to get that. So we used the Flampy there to get rid of that one Luffy, so we could use the other Luffy to get it into play, and then use Leader Effect to gain some life. That's why we did it that way. The opponent scoops it up. They had a couple 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. They had 10k worth of counter in hand. They had 2 blockers. So yeah, opponent scoops it up. But like I said, the mirror match, it's kind of anyone's game. You guys, both decks are doing the same thing, so it's just whoever gets their pieces. Uh, You know, whatever pieces fall into line for that player first usually has the edge on the game, but it's like 50-50. All right, guys, make sure you guys like, subscribe. We'll catch you guys in the next one.